Okay, so good evening to you all. Apologies that this is not a live class tonight, that the practicalities of teaching live on holiday have been a little bit more complicated than I thought. So it was easier to record live, pre-record tonight. So it is going to be Fiona's class tonight, and the things that she said that she wanted to focus on were, so she likes Warrior 2. She did also select Pigeon Pose, but after all of our pigeon poses last week, I thought we'd give that one a rest. And I know from past experience with Fiona that she does have, or has had in the past, difficulties with shoulders, and a lot of shoulder pain comes from neck. So we're going to be working a lot on freeing up the neck and shoulders, which is really useful for all of us because we've all been spending a lot more time using computers and that kind of thing, which obviously does result in that kind of neck and shoulder pain. And then the other thing she sent me a couple of readings, which are really nice, about the idea of the benefits of smiling. So we're going to be really focusing on those two things. So in terms of kind of the physical aspect of it, it's going to be about neck and shoulders and Warrior 2. But in terms of the sort of thematic focus, it's about the idea of this kind of finding the smiling, that even when things seem hard, so if a pose seems hard, if we kind of approach it with in a positive way, and we use a smile, we feel that's not quite so difficult. So coming to either a seat or lying down, we're going to just tune ourselves in. So you can either sit, however feels comfortable, if you prefer to lie. And just bringing yourself into some kind of stillness, perhaps not complete stillness, but more stillness than you've had so far today. And taking a big breath in through the nose, and then exhaling through the mouth. And letting everything go, releasing the shoulders, releasing the hips. Releasing anything that maybe you've been looking onto without even realizing, not even realizing until you came to more stillness. Then big breath in through the nose, and then exhaling through the mouth. And just taking a moment to scan through the body and to see how it's feeling this evening. Is there anything that needs a bit more kindness tonight? Needs just a little bit more thought when you're moving in your practice. And just letting that go. Making a note to tune into that area. And as I said, we're going to be focusing on this idea of smiling. I'm just going to start off with a little quote about the value of a smile. So, smiling is sharing an act of kindness. There's something magical that happens when we all start smiling at one another. So, though we're not smiling at one another this evening, just slightly bringing up the corners of the mouth. Might feel forced, but maybe it's been a really positive day. Just seeing how that feels. So the act of a smile engages far more muscles in the face than the act of frowning. So it's physically good for us as well as mentally good for us. And just thinking for a moment, first thing that comes into your head that makes you smile, maybe more than one thing. Your food, your person, your place. Just picturing that. And what it brings up for you. And all this idea of smiling as an act of kindness to yourself. Just picturing someone who you know at the moment that perhaps needs that smile, needs that positive feeling. And just mentally sending it towards them. Just a few more moments there. And wherever you are, just taking your head from side to side very gently. You're lying down, just taking it from side to side on the mat. You're sitting up, just taking it very gently from side to side. And just very gently nodding it up and down if you were agreeing with something. And then bringing the palms together, and rubbing the palms very vigorously, placing over the eyes. Big breath in, and then the exhale, drawing the fingers down the face, letting the light back in, joining the practice once again. And if you are lying down, just stretching the arms out and bringing yourself up to sit. And if you're already sitting, then if you're comfortable in the place you're in, staying where you are. If you feel like you need to adjust your position, then just begin to do that now. I'm going to start off with some neck freeing movements. So these are really good little things to do if you do spend a lot of time at the computer. So like I said, a lot of shoulder pain comes from the neck. So I went to a physio in Singapore about 10 years ago now. I had a really bad shoulder. And he took one look at me and he said, well, how do you sleep? And so I sleep on my front with my head to the side. He said, well, it's your neck that's causing all of your shoulder pain in that case. So we're going to be bringing the hands onto the knees to begin with. And we're just going to start off with a very simple neck freeing exercise, which is linked with the breath. So breathing into the center. And then on the exhale, dropping the right ear towards the shoulder. Inhaling to come back up. Exhaling, left ear towards the left shoulder. Inhaling to come back up. Exhaling, tucking the chin towards the chest. Inhaling back to center. And then exhale, lifting up. So very gentle movements. Inhaling back to the center. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhaling back up. Exhaling, left ear to left shoulder. Inhaling back up. Exhaling, chin to chest. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, lifting up. And then inhaling back to center. And then same thing, but this time turning the head from side to side. Inhaling here. Exhaling, looking over the right shoulder. Inhaling back to the center. Exhale, looking over the left shoulder. Inhaling back to the center. Exhale over the right. Inhaling back to the center. Exhaling over the left. Okay, now so I can bring the shoulders into the movement as well. So inhaling, sweeping the arms up, looking to the fingertips. And then exhaling, sweeping the hands behind you, clasping them together. And then tucking the chin in. Inhaling to release, looking up to the fingertips, stretching the front of the neck. And then exhaling the hands down, clasping the hands together, tucking the chin in towards the chest. So same thing, just bringing the shoulders in as well. Inhaling, looking up, raising the fingertips, exhaling, tucking the chin in towards the chest, taking the hands behind. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, looking up, and then exhaling, bringing the hands back down, tucking the chin in, and releasing that away. Okay, keeping the right hand on the floor, you're going to take the left hand behind the back, and if you can, taking hold of the right arm behind your back. If you can't do that, then you can take both hands behind the back. But if you can manage to do it, that you keep the right hand on the floor, then that's even better. You're going to inhale here, and then you're going to exhale, and you're going to drop the right ear down towards the right shoulder. So stretching into the left side of the neck. And I'm just going to hold that for a few breaths. So holding on to, or taking the arm behind the back, just helps us to increase that stretch into the neck. And inhaling, coming back up. Bringing the left hand down to the floor, taking the right hand behind the back, or if it's easier for you, taking both hands behind. Inhaling here. And then exhaling, dropping the left ear down towards the shoulder, stretching into that right side of the neck. And we're going to start to do these things, but suddenly very aware of all the tension that's held here. Even if you don't have problems in the shoulders, you can always benefit from stretching out the neck. Remembering to smile as you do so. Inhaling back up. And then you're going to release the shoulders. So release the arms out to the side, about shoulder height. And you're going to turn the left palm up and look over towards that palm. And then we're going to link in with the breath. So as you inhale, you're going to turn the left hand down, turn the right hand up, and turn to look at it. Again, switching to the opposite side, and just with the breath, turning one and the other. Trying to almost see lifting up the palms turned up, so if you can almost bring the little fingers over. You won't be able to bring it over unless you're double jointed. But that's the kind of action we're going for. So turning the little finger up, turning the thumb down. So really stretching into that shoulder. Just doing one more on each side. And then we'll release the right hand down, taking the left arm over. So I'm going to look up towards the ceiling if that feels okay for your neck. If that doesn't feel okay for your neck, you're not looking down or just looking to the centre. And then exhaling, turn to look at the bottom hand. And then inhaling and exhaling over to the opposite side, taking the left hand down to the ground. Right arm over and looking up towards that right hand. And then inhaling, exhaling, looking down towards the bottom hand. And inhaling, coming back up. And one forward fold, inhaling, sweeping the arms up. And exhale, folding forwards. Again, just taking, releasing the head, taking it from side to side a little bit. Stretching into the back of the neck. And then remembering to smile. Now I'm going to come over to hands and knees, so it may be that you can inhale and come forwards, rolling over the knees, or getting there however you wish. And we're going to come onto hands and knees as we said, so hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Now we're going to start continuing this freeing. So cat-cow, excellent for freeing pretty much all parts of the body. So just moving between one and the other. So inhaling to draw the chest forwards, lifting forwards, and then exhale, pressing the floor away, opening through the shoulders, taking the head down. And just switching between one and the other. One more of each. And then coming back to a neutral spine. And I'm going to do a little sequence, which again is another shoulder opener, and also helping the neck. So I'm going to turn the right hand onto the back. On the inhale, you're going to sweep the right arm up, keeping the hips as level as you can. And on the exhale, taking the right arm underneath the left and almost giving yourself a hug. And inhaling, opening out once again. And exhaling, again, wrapping that right hand round towards the left shoulder blade. Inhaling, opening up. And this time as you exhale, you're going to bring the right shoulder all the way down to the ground. And you're going to stretch the right arm out along the ground. And then you might just need to slightly shift the left hand just to make it into a bit of a right angle. And that's going to support that twisting into the shoulders. So pressing the left hand into the ground. And opening into the shoulders. Now, I do sometimes give you the option to lift the leg here, lift the left leg. But actually tonight we're not going to do that. We're going to really focus on this shoulder opening. And then pressing into the left hand, drawing the right arm out. And I'm going to come into half puppy pose. So I want you just to walk the hands forward, keeping the hips exactly where they are. And you're going to bring the left arm down onto the ground, so the forearm onto the ground, which is going to be where you rest your head. And then stretching the right arm out. And then just seeing if you can drop the weight down. So dropping the chest down towards the ground, keeping the hips exactly where they are. This is really isolating the stretch into the right. Allowing that stretch to happen. And then taking that left arm underneath the right, and then just dropping yourself all the way down. A slight twisted version of this puppy pose. If any of that doesn't feel right, anything in your body, then just stay in a previous version of it. Bringing the right arm back, pressing into the ground and drawing the arm. And then just a couple of rounds of cat-cow to release the shoulders before we switch on to the opposite side. And then turning the left hand onto the back of the hand. And the inhale, sweeping the arms up. And the exhale, taking it underneath the right. Bringing it round towards the right shoulder blade. Inhaling, stretching back up. Exhaling, bringing it back. Inhale, opening up. And then exhaling, coming down onto that left shoulder. Bringing the right hand up, taking a right angle, allowing that opening to happen into the left shoulder. Breathe into that stretch, smile into that stretch. And then pressing into the right hand, lifting the left arm out. And then coming into that half puppy pose. So bringing the right forearm down, pressing the head onto it. And if it doesn't reach, you can always bring a pillow underneath it. And then just stretching that left arm out, keeping the hips exactly where they are, isolating the stretch into the shoulder. Breathing into it. And then if it feels okay, taking the right arm underneath the left. And just bringing a little twist into your puppy pose. And drawing the arm. Again, a couple of rounds of cat-cow just to stretch out the shoulders, stretch out the neck. And then putting yourself back into the child's pose for a moment. Arms stretched out and just bringing the hands up onto the fingertips. Drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale, coming forwards. And tucking the toes under, drawing the hips up and back. Coming into your downward dog pose and doing anything that it needs to make it feel comfortable or to make it feel less uncomfortable. And maybe this pose for you is a pose where you really need to focus on that inner smile to find the joy in it. I know that it's not for everybody. And then from here, either walking the hands to the feet or the feet to the hands. And then coming into a very gentle forward fold. Again, just releasing the head and neck. And the shoulders a little bit of a wiggle, perhaps a bit more than you normally do. Roll through the shoulder blades a little bit. really shaking the hair out, releasing anything in the neck that feels a little bit tighter. And then we inhale, rolling all the way up. Moving the head and neck until last. And then rolling the shoulders, taking a circle with the neck and coming to stand at the front of your mats. Okay, so moving into our sun salutations here. Inhaling to lift the arms up, look up. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, stepping back with the left foot, dropping the left knee down. And inhale, drawing the chest forwards, dropping the hips down, stretching the front of the neck. Inhale, tucking the back toes, lifting the knee, and stepping yourself back into your plank pose. Inhaling in your plank, and exhaling, knees, chest, chin, coming down to the ground, stretching the front of the neck, in the knees, chest, chin. And then inhaling, coming through into a baby cobra, and exhaling, drawing yourself back into your downward dog pose. Again, finding your inner smile. Any adjustments that you need to make you feel more comfortable. Inhaling, lifting forward, stepping forward with the left foot, dropping the right knee down. Inhaling, drawing the chest forward, dropping the hips, stretching the front of your neck. And then inhaling, lifting the back knee up, and exhaling, stepping through to the front of the mat, forward down. Inhale, lifting all the way up, and exhaling down through the center line. Inhale, lifting the arms, lifting up. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, stepping to the front of the mat. Rocking, sorry, not stepping to the front of the mat, stepping to the back of the mat, rocking the left knee down. On the inhale, pressing the hands into the front knee and just slightly tilting the head back to stretch the front of the neck. Inhaling here, exhaling, releasing the hands down, tucking the back toes, inhaling to lift the left knee, and then on an exhale, stepping back, coming into your plank pose. Inhaling here, and exhaling, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga coming down to the ground. Inhaling, coming through into cobra or upward dog, and then exhaling, coming back into your downward dog pose. Breathing here, finding that smile, that kindness to yourself. And looking forward, stepping forwards with the left foot, dropping the right knee down. And on the inhale, bringing the hands to the front knee, slightly tilting the head back to stretch the front of the neck. And then exhaling down, inhaling, lifting the right knee, and exhaling, stepping to the front, folding the head. Inhale, lifting all the way back up. And then exhaling down through the center line. Inhale, lifting the arms, looking up. Exhaling, folding down. Inhaling, halfway. Exhale, stepping back with the left foot, dropping the left knee down. Planting the left hand down. And then inhaling, sweeping the right arm up and round, looking up to the top hand, stretching the neck. Exhale, release. Inhale, tucking the back toes, lifting the left knee. And exhaling, stepping back into your plank pose. Inhaling in your plank. And then exhaling down to the ground, knees, chest in, or chaturanga. Inhaling through into upward dog or cobra pose. And then drawing back into downward dog, knowing that child's pose is always an option for you if that feels better for you this evening. Breathing long and steady. And inhaling, looking forwards, stepping forwards with the left, dropping the right knee down, planting the right hand down, inhaling, stretching the left arm forwards and round, looking to that top line, stretching the neck. Inhaling here. And then exhaling, releasing the hand down. Inhale to lift the right knee, and exhaling, stepping forwards to fall down. Inhale, lifting all the way back up, and exhaling down through the center line. Inhale, lifting the hands. Exhaling, folding down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stepping back with the left foot, dropping that left knee down. Inhaling, bringing the hands to the center, and then exhaling, slightly turning to the right, looking over the right shoulder, stretching into the neck. Inhaling, coming back to the front, and exhale, release. Inhale, tucking the left toes, lifting the left knee. Exhaling, coming back into your plank pose. Inhaling here, and then exhaling. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Coming through on the inhale to cobra or upward dog. And exhaling, coming back into your downward dog. Breathing, smiling, finding that kindness in this pose. Just giving the head a little shake here, releasing that neck. Looking forwards. Inhaling, stepping forwards with the left foot, dropping that right knee down. Inhaling, bringing the hands to the center. Then on the exhale, slightly turning to the left, looking over the left shoulder, stretching into the right side of your neck. Exhaling, releasing down. Inhale, lifting the right knee, and then exhale, folding down. Inhale, lifting all the way back up. And exhaling the hands down through the center line. Closing the eyes for a moment. Just observing and absorbing what you've done. And finding that inner smile. Finding that kindness towards yourself, towards others. Perhaps taking an hour to practice is kindness to others. This class allows you to be kinder to your friends and family, particularly if it's been a busy, stressful day. And inhale, lifting the arms up, stretching to the ceiling. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway. And then exhale, stepping straight back into your downward dog pose. On the inhale, lifting up the left leg, coming into three-legged dog. And exhale, stepping forwards, coming into your warrior two. So inhaling, sweeping the arms around, cartwheeling them, and coming up into your warrior two. So lots of our sequences today are going to be built around warrior two, which Fiona said she likes, so I hope she still likes it after we do all of this. So just focusing on our alignment in this pose for a moment, which we don't always do. So looking at that front knee, you want to have the front knee, doesn't matter how far forwards it's coming, apart from you don't want it like this. So you don't want to be going the knee over the ankle. So it wants to be either in line with or behind the ankle. And then looking down at it, you want to make sure that the knee is not dropping inwards. So you should be able to look down at your knee, see the foot below it, and it's not kind of going over to one of the sides. So pressing that front foot down and then really pressing the outside edge of the back foot into the ground to try and turn this outside hip, the right hip open. So you've kind of got opening going on in both these muscles at the top here. It's a really good hip opener. And take the arms wide, really strong. Looking at the back hand. So we always look over the front hand, and we often forget about that back hand. And I had a tendency for a while that my warrior two looked a little bit like this. My yoga teacher would say to me, Sarah, look at the back hand. And you have to just kind of draw it up. So particularly if we've got shoulder injuries, sometimes there can be a natural thing that maybe one is slightly lower. So I've done enough talking about warrior two. I'm going to do some movement. So on the inhale, you're going to straighten the front leg, stretch the arms up, and then on the exhale, coming back down into our warrior two pose. Inhaling, stretching the arms up, straightening the front leg, and on the exhale, coming back down. Not just looking at what your front knee's doing. Inhaling, lifting back up. Exhale, bending into that front knee. That's one. Inhaling to straighten up. And exhale, coming down into that pose. And then cartwheeling the hands back over, planting them down, and stepping back into your warrior two, into your downward dog. Inhaling, lifting the right leg up. Exhaling, bringing it through. And cartwheeling the hands up, coming into warrior two. So same as we did on the opposite side, just having a look at your alignment. So looking at the bend into the front knee, checking what the knee's doing. So if we have weak muscles in either side of the legs, and we often do have imbalances from injuries, and the body's very good at adjusting to injuries, just making sure that one of those isn't pulling the knee to either to the inside of the ankle or taking it onto the outside of the ankle. So just really working to adjust that by pressing into the outside edge of the front foot if the knee's dropping in, or if the knee's dropping outwards, just pressing into that the inside edge of the front foot. And then pressing into the outside edge of the back foot, seeing if you can open that hip a little bit more. And then taking the arms wide. Again, just checking that back hand, making sure that you've got that broadness across the shoulder, but also that balance across the shoulder. So warrior poses are designed to make us feel very strong, make us powerful. And on the inhale, straightening the front leg, lifting the hands up, and exhaling back down. Perhaps even looking up to the fingertips, and then looking to that front hand as you exhale. Inhaling, stretching the arms up, exhaling, coming back down. Inhaling, and exhaling back down. Cartwheeling the hands over, planting the hands down, and then stepping back into your downward dog, either working through a vinyasa, holding the downward dog, or dropping into child's pose. Whichever option that you're taking, doing so with a smile. And hips up and back. No breath as you go, remembering to release the head again. Now the next inhale, lifting the left foot. Exhaling, stepping it through to the front of the mat, dropping the back heel down, and we're going to cartwheel the hands up, coming surprise, surprise, back into that warrior two pose. So looking at your alignment for a moment, feeling strong. And then inhaling the front hand over, and exhaling, reversing the warrior. Inhaling, coming back to warrior two, and then exhaling, reversing. Inhaling back to warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, coming back to warrior two. And exhale, reverse. Inhale, coming back. And reverse. Just holding that reverse warrior for a breath or two. Particularly seeing if you can drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Then inhaling back to warrior two, then exhaling, bringing the hands over, Stepping back into your downward dog. And the right leg up. And exhale, stepping it through. And cartwheeling up, coming into your warrior two once again. So just checking those alignment cues, checking the front knee, checking that back hand, stretching out nice and wide, feeling strong. Then inhaling the front hand over, exhale, reversing your warrior. Inhale, coming back to your warrior two, and exhaling to reverse. Inhale, warrior two, exhaling to reverse. Inhaling, warrior two, exhaling to reverse, and holding that reverse warrior. So trying to drop the left ear towards the left shoulder, stretching into that right side of the neck. And then inhaling back to warrior two. And planting the hands down. Stepping back into your downward dog. Coming into child's pose or working through a vinyasa if that is the option that you are taking. And meeting back in our downward dogs in child's poses. And then on the inhale, lifting the left foot. Exhaling it through to the front of your mat. Inhaling to sweep up, coming into your warrior two again, setting up for that alignment. Now we do a little bit more stretching into the shoulders. So inhaling here, and then exhale, sweeping the hands behind you, drawing those hands away, opening into the chest. Inhaling, coming to warrior two. And then exhaling and straightening the front knee at the same time as well. Inhaling back to warrior two. Exhaling, straightening the front knee, taking the hands behind you, opening into the chest. Inhaling back to warrior two. Exhaling, bringing the hands behind you, holding it this time. So drawing the shoulders away, bring the shoulders towards each other, drawing the hands away, opening through the chest. And if it feels okay, just lifting the chin towards the ceiling, stretching into the front of the neck. And then dropping the head down, stretching into the back of the neck. Breathing into that pose. And then inhaling to release back into your warrior two. And cartwheeling the hands over, stepping back into your downward dog. Inhaling to lift the right foot and exhaling it through into the front of your mat. Sweeping up into that warrior two pose again, checking your alignment. Inhaling here, and then on the exhale, straightening the front leg, taking the hands behind you, drawing the hands away. Inhaling to drop back into your warrior two. Exhaling, straightening the front leg, opening, lifting the hands away. Inhaling back to warrior two. Exhale, clasping the hands together behind the back, drawing the shoulders together. Inhaling, warrior two. And this time as you exhale, holding for a few breaths here. Drawing the hands away from the bottom, drawing the shoulder blades together. For a moment, looking up to the ceiling, if that feels okay, to stretch the front of the neck. And then dropping the head down, stretching into the back of the neck. Inhaling to release, coming back into your warrior two. And then cartwheeling the hands over, stepping back into your downward dog. Either staying in downward dog, taking child's pose, or working through a vinyasa. And coming to meet back in downward dog. Inhale, lifting the left foot. Exhale, stepping it through. And inhaling to cartwheel, coming up into your warrior two pose. And then from here, we're going to come in and out of our eagle arms. So if you remember eagle arms, In this case, we'll cross the left over the right, and maybe you might just take hold of the back of the shoulder blades. Maybe you'll bring the backs of the arms together, or if you've got that little final twist, to bring the right hand around into the left arm and do so. So we're going to inhale in our warrior two, and then exhale, crossing left over right, straightening the front leg, coming into your eagle arms. Inhaling warrior two, exhaling left over right, warrior eagle arms. Inhaling warrior two, exhale left over right, eagle arms. Inhaling warrior two, exhale, coming into those eagle arms and holding for a moment here. So looking over the right shoulder, stretching into the left side of the neck, and heading back to the centre, and then looking over the right shoulder. Inhaling, releasing out into your warrior two, and then cartwheeling the hands over and stepping back into your downward dog. Switching over, inhaling the right foot up, exhaling, stepping through to the front of the mat, and coming up into your warrior two pose. We're going to be taking right over left this time, so either coming into the eagle arms with holding onto the shoulders, bringing the backs of the hands together, or if you've got that final little twist, to bring the left hand into the right palm and do so. Inhaling in your warrior two, and then exhale right over left, eagle arms, straighten the front legs. Inhaling warrior two, exhaling right over left, straighten the leg, eagle arms. Inhaling warrior two, exhale right over left, eagle arms. Inhaling, stretching out wide, warrior two, and then exhaling, coming into that eagle pose, holding for a moment. Looking over the right shoulder. It's a really good way to stretch into different muscles in the neck and the shoulders. Inhaling back to the centre, and then looking over the left shoulder. Inhaling to release, coming back to warrior two, and then exhaling, cartwheeling the hands over, stepping back into downward dog. We are going to come down to the floor in a moment, so you can either come straight down, or if you wish to come forward and take one final vinyasa before you do so, then you can do that. And perhaps just hopping forwards and coming into your Dandasana. So straightening the feet out in front of you, bringing the hands down by the sides, drawing the shoulders up and back. We're just going to do one more of those neck freeing sequences like we started the class, slightly different sitting position. So inhaling and exhale to drop to the right shoulder, inhaling back. Exhale, left shoulder, and then heading back. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, exhale, looking up. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, turning the head to the right. Inhale, exhale, turning to the left. And come back to center. And then inhale, sweeping the arms up, slightly bend into the knees. And then exhale and fold forwards, coming into your seated forward fold. And I want to really focus on releasing the neck here, so giving the head a shape. And inhaling, trying to draw the chest towards the toes, but keeping the neck nice and loose. And exhaling, and then a little bit more space. Once we're looking to stretch into the neck today, I mean, if you have a little bit more rounding off the back, that's fine. We've got some space to straighten these. Or maybe not. Inhaling, releasing, walking the hands back up the legs. Taking the hands behind you, fingertips facing forwards, pressing the hands into the mat, opening through the chest, releasing the head back. Maybe that's enough for you, or perhaps you can then bring the hips up, coming into your reverse plank pose. Big breath here, and then exhale, releasing down. Drawing the left knee in towards you, and taking that left foot over the right leg. Either keeping the right leg straight, or perhaps you would prefer to tuck that foot in towards the left sit bones. And wrap the right arm around the left leg and just drawing it across the body to begin with. Looking over the right shoulder for a moment, so slightly different to usual. I'm going to inhale, stretch the left arm up. And as you exhale, turning to look the opposite way and into your twist. So bringing the left hand down to the ground. Looking over the left shoulder. And perhaps releasing the right elbow to press into the outside of the left leg. If that feels okay, it doesn't always. Taking an inhale here. And first of all, just releasing the head round to the right, so looking over the right shoulder again. And then releasing the rest. Bringing slightly more counter twist, so slightly turning to the right. And then inhaling back to the centre. Releasing the legs forwards, taking a little wiggle. And then drawing the right knee in, pulling it in towards you. Taking the right foot over the left leg. And then we're going to either keep that left leg straight or bringing it in towards the right sit bone. Wrapping the left arm around the right leg, drawing it in towards you. And to begin with, we're going to look over the left shoulder. And inhaling the right arm up. And exhaling, turning to look towards the right as you take that right hand behind you. And onto that twist on the opposite side. And inhale, releasing the head first, looking over that left shoulder. And then releasing the rest of the body around. Going into a slight counter twist. Inhaling, coming forwards. And going back to sit. From here, we're going to roll ourselves down to the ground. So bringing the feet hip distance apart. Very, very slowly rolling yourself down vertically by vertebrae. Bringing the palms down onto the ground. Now I'm going to bridge pose first of all. So bringing the feet a little bit closer to the bottom. And just shuffling the hands down, so drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. On the inhale, pressing the feet and the hands into the mat, drawing those hips up, keeping the inner legs drawing together. Pressing up into your bridge pose for a few breaths here. Really tucking the chin in towards the chest. And then on the exhale, rolling down, taking the knees from side to side a few times. And then again, on the inhale, pressing the feet, pressing the hands, lifting up. And if you can, drawing the hands together underneath back. Coming up a little bit more onto the shoulders, pressing the feet into the ground, breathing into this pose, tucking the chin in towards the chest. Now, taking the hands up, releasing back down, taking the knees from side to side. And we're going to come up into shoulder stand. So shoulder stand is a pose that's really good for stretching the neck, but we have to get to the point where we've kind of done sufficient preparation first of all. So for a long time I used to find that shoulder stand I couldn't do in the morning because my neck was still kind of quite stiff from sleeping, and it sort of took a little bit of freeing. If you don't feel like shoulder stand is for you, then the option is to take legs at the wall. So bringing yourself to a wall or to a bed or a sofa, shuffling the hip in towards it and bringing the feet up. If you are going to take shoulder stand, shuffle down like that a little bit for a bit of space. You're going to inhale and draw the knees in towards you, and then pressing the hands into the mat, lifting up the hips, supporting the lower back. So bringing in the hands to the lower back, and then just very, very slowly working those elbows in, drawing a little bit further, maybe just coming into a half shoulder stand, the knees bent, or perhaps then stretching the legs all the way up and straight. So you can feel the stretch in the back of the neck here. And we're going to be playing with a half power pose, so bringing one foot down behind the back, or maybe bringing both feet down. And then releasing the palms of the hands onto the mat. And very gradually rolling the body down. Drawing the knees into the chest. Taking a rock from side to side. And then stretching the palms out wide. Taking the knees over to the left side. Then looking to the right hand. Inhaling, drawing the knees back to the centre. And exhaling them over to the right side. Looking to the left hand. Inhaling back to centre. And then we're going to come into fish pose for a moment. So even if you took the legs at the wall option, this is a nice way to stretch the front of the neck. So bringing the palms of the hands underneath the bottom, so palms facing upwards. And then you're going to press into the elbows, lifting up onto the elbows and dropping the head back. So stretching into the front of the neck, reversing what we did with our shoulder stand. Big breath in. And then exhaling, releasing. Then drawing the knees into the chest. Taking a little rock from side to side. And then this is your yogi's choice before you come into your shavasana. So anything that you feel that you need to close your practice before you come into shavasana, now is your time to do that. And then you're ready, making your way into your shavasana. And then you're in your shavasana. Taking a big breath in through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Again, big breath in through the nose. And exhaling through the mouth. Releasing the feet. Releasing the legs, releasing the hips, releasing the abdomen and the lower back, releasing the chest and the upper back, releasing the arms and the hands, releasing the face, and releasing the neck and chest. Smiling is infectious. You catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I walked around the corner and someone saw me grin. When he smiled, I realized I had passed it on to him. I thought about the smile and then realized its worth. A single smile like mine could travel around the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Start an epidemic and get the world infected. Breath in. Slowly letting it go. Starting to bring some small movements into the fingers and toes. And then inhale, perhaps stretching the arms up above the head. And drawing the knees into the chest and turning the rock from side to side to release the head. And you can go over the head with the arm, rolling over onto your side. Pause here, just a smile. And then you're going to bring yourself back up to sleep. Moving the hands down on sides. And inhale, sweeping the arms up, lifting up. And exhaling down through the centre line. And thank you very much for your practice this evening. And I hope it's made you smile. And that you carry that smile and infect others with positive infection for the last, considering the last 18 months. I look forward to seeing you all next week.